Welcome to the Today Show, Halton. I am Tracy Schmidt. Many of you know me better as Unstoppable Tracy. I'm so excited to be filming my very last Today Show in Halton. And later on, I'm going to introduce you to Chris Power, energy, funny man, extraordinaire, director, producer, writer. You're going to absolutely love Chris Power for the Today Show Halton region. But before we bring in Chris today, I have a very near and dear Oakville Haltonite, a local Halton, who is a retired captain, and she was 22 years in the Canadian Forces. She graduated from military college, and since then, she has done well over 500 skydives, jumped with the U.S. Marine Corps, and she did an overseas mission in Bosnia, and in her spare time, she flew Cessna, and she is one of the very few rare females in her trade. And so one of the other cool facts about Julia is that she was a media advisor during her time with the Army, and this prompted her to go into some public affairs and get her master's in communications. But what's extra amazing for all of you here in Halton is that she is doing a local Halton newsletter, and it's on Pink Partridge Digital Media to help businesses and the community be able to find each other with Going Places newsletter. And then the last piece, how she fits in with the Disability Channel, who is filming this extraordinary Today Show Halton Region show. You know, everyone at the Disability Channel has some kind of disability, visible or invisible, from producer to director to guest to host. And so Julie was diagnosed with lupus in 2005, the same year she got married. And so she's been doing dialysis 3 times a week. And it all started in the shutdown of the pandemic. So many stories, not enough time. Please stay tuned for the extraordinary Julie Misquitta right after these messages on the Today Show, Halton.
Jay Stoyan for the Disability Channel. I just want to announce that we're going to be having our 2022 Drone Ball Drop fundraiser. It's going to piggyback off our 2021 successful fundraiser here in Canada. So again, 2022 Drone Ball Drop fundraiser in the USA, supporting our employment programs, supporting persons with disabilities and veterans. For more information, go to www.thedisabilitychannel.ca.
Hey, I'm Tiger Williams, and you're watching the Disability Channel, and support Easter sales all year round, and thank you very much.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Today Show. My name is Chris Power, and I'll be taking over for Unstoppable Tracy. For more information, please go to thedisabilitychannel.ca.
Hello, Halton! I'm so excited to be here with you on the Today Show, Halton watchers. I have an extraordinary, extra meaningful guest for me today, Julie Misquitta, Sergeant in a past life. Welcome, and thank you for your service, Julie Misquitta.
Hi, Tracy. Hello, and hello, everybody. I'm going to correct that. I was a captain in the military. Yeah.
Captain in the military. That still knocks my socks off, or like I like to say to people, knocks my legs off. My friend Julie was a captain in the military.
Yeah, I'm sitting in front of the I Love Me wall right now. I call it my I Love Me wall. It's the basement room.
Oh my gosh. You're already giving golden nuggets to our listeners. We all need a Love Me wall. Tell us what's on that wall. Tell us a bit about your past back there.
You know what? First, can I talk about you? Because I know
or how we met in the past.
I wanted to tell everybody, because a lot of people don't know this, but I met Tracy years ago when I was skydiving, I think in 2002. And Tracy, you asked me to go skydiving. And
a party.
I go skydiving. So we made arrangements, and I went to pick you up one day. And I think it was Saturday, early morning, and you were ready to go. You got in the car, and you said something so unusual to me at that moment. You looked at me, you got in the car, and you looked at me, and you said, "Do you mind if I take my legs off?" Tracy, nobody's ever asked me that before.
Well, it was a long drive. What do you mean nobody takes their legs off?
But you know what? That began a weekend of a whole lot of skydiving fun. I just set the tone right there, and we had such a blast, didn't we?
Yes. And we had only known each other 24 hours approximately at that point, 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah,
give or take.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just a party. You skydive? I want to skydive. And like 14 organizations said no, and you said yes. So great.
And we got lucky. We went to Gananoque, we skydive, and had a great time. Yeah.
We sure did. We sure did. And then I found out that that wasn't just like a weekend adventure. It was a lifestyle for you. 500 dives. Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was sort of a passion of mine. Things have changed a little bit. Like, as you mentioned, I now, I did my military career, learned a whole lot from my military career, all about sort of resiliency and not giving up. And I have a little story about that.
Oh my gosh.
One time, on my parachute course, they actually make it really difficult for you. The sergeants, they just make your life a living hell. And what they want you to do, they're encouraging you to actually quit. One time they took us on a really, really long and grueling run. And we went all over, and we were coming back towards the barracks. And what normally happens is we go to the barracks and we do a cool down, and then we're all done. But this time they ran us past the barracks. And do you know a whole group of people, they just quit. That was it. They were gunning for the barracks, figuring it was all over, and then they quit. And the rest of us, we ran ahead. The people who quit, they were sent home right away. They were not the kind of people that the military was looking for, and they got sent home. And the rest of us, we only ran another, I'd say, 200 meters, and then we turned around and came back. That was it. We only really ran until we weeded out the people who were going to quit. And
wow,
it taught me something. It taught me that, in life, even, you don't know when it's going to end. Like you got to keep gunning for it, and you got to keep going, one foot in front of the other, because you don't know when the finish line is. And it's really pays off if you carry on. Right. And I know you probably have experiences just like that.
Well, and I think you and I are kindred spirits, and why we clicked so quick that skydiving weekend. You talked about how so many people, they say they want to skydive the next morning and they never show up when the alarm goes off, right? And they quit before the actual journey. And so how amazing that you were smart enough to keep running. And that does parallel a lot. And you probably know this now with your afterlife of lupus that you didn't know you were going to have way back then. But that as a person with a disability, a lot of people, out of the goodness of their heart, in a way, not like your sergeants drilling you that day, but try to make me quit sailing, try to make me quit a profession, try to make me quit skiing, even when there was downsizing and bankruptcy in organizations, for the long run, it's probably best, cut your losses and quit now kind of life. And so it's funny that they did that too. They try to make you quit, and you didn't, and you still haven't. And you've got so much going on. That's like such a powerful story. And you talk about things like even making beds have meaning with resiliency and training back in your learning days.
Yeah, it's true actually. And it is important to carry on. It is important to go ahead. And in the military, details matter. And,
Mm.
and that's why one of the first things they teach you is to make a bed. And to make a bed, it's the corners are square, the pillows in the center. It's sometimes we iron the sheets,
Oh
the
my
fold
gosh.
down sheets, and it is pristine. This bed is amazing, and it's but that's interesting because when you go and have the rest of your day, you've already accomplished something. And
Yeah.
when you had a really hard day, and they were giving you a really hard time that day, you're doing a lot of physical exercise and stuff. You come back and you got this beautiful, well-made bed.
Well, and you talk about not quitting and this beautiful, well-made bed to come back to, and it sort of sounds like a bit of a coping mechanism. Like, how does making your bed relate to your time in Bosnia or others that are serving for us in Canada?
You know what? I'll even bring it to having lupus and being
Okay.
now on dialysis. There are days that you got arthritis really bad and you can't barely walk, or the lining of your lungs is it affects that, and it actually lowers your lung capacity, so you're fatigued. In those days, it's the same thing. You got to get up and you start off by making your bed, and you feel terrible. You feel like crap that day, but you know that goes away. In lupus, there's peaks and valleys. It goes away. It's for a short period of time. You got to keep your mind ahead of what's coming up.
Yeah. Julie, can you tell me a little bit about what lupus is for those out there that don't know what lupus is?
Absolutely. Lupus, I have lupus nephritis, and nephritis part means it affects the kidneys. So I actually need a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
So lupus is an autoimmune disease where your cells, they recognize your own cells as enemies and they attack. And so this affects all the organs of your body, including your skin. And lupus tends to pool in the kidneys. So it's very common to have kidney issues when
Mm.
you have lupus. And so what they have to do for me is I go for, they exchange my blood. And so, because the kidneys affect your salts and minerals and water, I need to go in and have an exchange of blood in order to clean my blood and take out the excess water.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that so that we can all understand. And I think really what it tells me is that we can't understand. We have no idea what it is to be in your shoes, but
It-
I do know. Sorry.
oh, I was going to say it is a setback sometimes, but you know what? I still went for my skiing trip a couple weekends ago, and
Yes.
and I'm still out there doing stuff and having fun. So so yeah, I have once a week I have or sorry 3 times a week I go for
Yeah.
dialysis, and sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days. All that means is that you just got to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lupus doesn't care about my plans,
No.
and I just have to sit back and understand my body, and be flexible and plan ahead.
And keep running past those barracks.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
You
think you
stop.
make your bed, right? Your coping mechanism. Focus on the details and keep running. Don't stop. And I don't want to stop. And it's needed time for a commercial break. I have 1,000 questions for you. And I think what's really exciting for all of our listeners is you have some neat upcoming events right now here in Halton because of your present endeavor. And it's one of your ways of coping with, okay, here are my days. What's my next adventure? And so, right after these messages, we are all going to be going places with Julie. If you're smart enough to stay tuned right after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hi, I am the host of Veterans Onward to Prosperity, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Blevin, and I have a public announcement to share. February 22nd, 2022, so that's 2022, is a very special day. We have a special day lined up with events that not only will bring awareness to a very serious issue that is felt here in the United States, and I'm told all around the world, but military suicide is on the rise, folks. Military suicide is something that can definitely be prevented, and we're certainly going to work toward preventing it. Learn more about this at 2-22TOSAVE.com. That's 2-22 T as in Tom, O as in Oscar, save22.com. It's 222 to save22.com. And join us and be a part of that very special day that we honor to protect and prevent our military brothers and sisters from committing suicide.
Hi, I'm Casey McKay, and be sure to watch Press Box on the Disability Channel. It's some great stuff we're covering, so be sure to tune in. Again, I'm Casey McKay, reporting for the Disability Channel, and I'll see you soon.
Hello, Halton. Thank you for coming back after these messages. This is the Today Show Halton. I am Tracy Schmidt, better known as Unstoppable Tracy, with my extraordinary guest, Julie Misquitta. She is a Halton local. She was a captain, and we are very grateful for her service of over 500 parachute dives, her time in Bosnia, her time in the media, supporting the Army. And she just shared with us before the break that, right when she got married, she got diagnosed with lupus, which, for this adventurous soul that was so active in life, was a big change. And how many resilience lessons that came out of the Army have got her still running and trucking and making a difference out there for all of us. And the way she's making a difference for her own soul is for us. So welcome back, Julie. Thank you so much for joining us on the Today Show, Halton.
Thank you very much.
So, Julie, tell us a little bit about what you're doing in Halton these days and how come.
Okay, so Tracy, I bet you have some viewers who want to go out places. It's post-COVID, it's time to go out.
Yes.
But they don't know what's going on locally.
Yeah.
Or let's say you have guests come from out of town and you don't know where to take them, or what's going on. And so I think people miss out on things. I've missed out on Rib Fest one year, and my family was so disappointed.
No wonder.
So I'm talking about the area of Burlington, Oakville, Milton, and Mississauga. And, that's 4 cities and places, cities and towns. And in order to find out what's going on, you got to dig, and you got to look into several websites, and you look all over many sources, and you still might not find something interesting for you.
Yeah.
So I have decided if I've missed some things, other people must be too. And I decided to create a newsletter. It's called Going Places. It hits your inbox once a week, and it has curated ideas about, beautiful walking trails or wonderful restaurants to visit or events that you need to hurry up and get your tickets for unless you're going to miss out. And actually, just to give you an idea of some examples, there's some really cool stuff going on. Many people may not know that right now is Taste of Oakville. And next week starts the Taste of Burlington. So opportunity to see restaurants there. Come April, there's an event. It's a beer fest. Tracy, we got to go to the beer fest.
You and me are going to that beer fest.
The beer, right?
Yes.
And then after that, look into end of July, there is a crime scene investigations. This one looks super cool. Burlington's actually closing streets down for this event. You are the investigator, and you get to investigate a murder. So we can't miss out on these things. People have to sign up for my newsletter.
Yes, they definitely. I do not want to miss those events. So how do they find, and before we go to that, I mean, you just were really fun with the 4 cities. And what's your joke? You call the 4 cities. You've got like an acronym.
because I have to keep saying Burlington, Oakville, Milton, and Mississauga, I've referred to it as the bomb.
The bomb.
Yeah, that's the
I
bomb.
love it.
Newsletter is for the bomb.
Yes. Going places is for the bomb. And you want to
Yes.
have a good time like me and Julie have when we hang out, jumping out of airplanes or murder mysteries or beer fests.
Yeah.
You've got to find you. So how do they find you? How do they find out this information?
Okay, really easy. They have to go to www.pinkpartridge.com.
Pink Partridge.
Word Pink Partridge, yes. And they get on there, and on the main page, there's a way to subscribe. Also, you can click on the tab Going Places. It gives you more explanation, and you can subscribe there.
Pink Partridge, www.pinkpartridge, and then look for Going Places.
Going Places. It's free to sign up, so I encourage everybody to sign up and don't miss out.
Oh my gosh. So Julie, how come you took on this free newsletter?
Do you know what? Because I saw the need, I personally missed out on things, and I found that when I'm looking around for things to do, I have to really dig, and I'm looking at various sources. And I thought, well, if everybody has to do this, this doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't one person do it and then provide that information for everybody else?
And it works around your dialysis, right? You've got 3 days a week where you're kind of out of commission.
Yes. So I have to have a flexible schedule, as you know, and so I actually searched for things. I knew I couldn't get your standard sort of 9-to-5 job anymore, and I wanted something creative. Honestly, I'm looking for something that I would enjoy and something creative. And I'm definitely motivated with this magazine. I think it's exciting. I personally will probably go to way more places and have way more adventures.
Yes.
As I'll be in the know.
Yes, because you'll be in the know. And, listeners, my director fell in love with Julie in all of 3 minutes. And there's a good chance that Going Places will also be connected with the Today Show Halton and the Today Show Toronto and the Disability Channel. And we are certainly going to make sure she meets all the right mayors and people in the community, because I think this Going Places is so important. And it doesn't matter if your job is 9 to 5, you make it work, you run past those barracks, you focus on the details, you make your bed so that you've got that coping mechanism when things and life throws you for a loop. And, folks, we've been focused on the fact that she's this extraordinary person that served for her country. And this adventurous, awesome woman in a male-dominated world and skydiver. But what you don't know is that she's also a mom of twins, which is amazing. Like, so many pieces in your life and your puzzle have always been dialed up to plus one, right? You don't just run to the barracks, you ran past the barracks. You didn't just have a baby, you had 2 babies, right? You're like, you don't just have dialysis once a week, you have it 3 times a week. And so I know that Going Places is going to always be that A+ experience. It's just not going to let you down. And Pink Partridge, Going Places, they just have to look it up and check out our channel. We'll be sure to give you links as well to find Julie Misquitta. You're going to want to follow her lifelong journey, and you're going to want to follow her events so that you can find her and I out and about in the community enjoying the bomb. Oh, Julie, thank you so much for joining the Today Show Halton. And I look forward to hearing more with your newsletter and reading your newsletter. Pink Panther?
Partridge? Pink Partridge. Like the
Partridge.
bird. Yeah, the bird.
The bird. The bomb bird. Pink Partridge. Pink Partridge. Going Places.
Yeah.
Any last words before we say goodbye? And stay tuned after these messages, because Chris Power is coming on, the new Today Show Halton host and my director of a couple of films, Jitters and Choking Hazard. So you want to hear from Chris. He's the funniest guy I know. He's so fun and playful. And so you definitely want to come back after these messages. But any wonderful last words from Julie before we go to commercial break?
Hey, this was very fun. Thank you for the opportunity, Tracy, and it's wonderful to see you again.
You too. I can't wait to read Going Places.
Woo!
Woo! Bye, everybody. Till after these messages. We'll see you with Chris Power in a moment.
Hi, this is Dave Stevens for the Disability Channel.
An inability to break out. I'm sitting by the door on the second floor, losing my 7-year war. It's not an illusion, so why the exclusion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's about you.
You say you're a disability dynamo.
Joining me, and welcome to this beautiful Travelers Championship.
I only want one accolade from you.
So my story is unique, it's amazing, but it's not anything that you guys don't have inside of you. I'm not a hero, I'm not anybody special, I'm just this guy without legs that went out, and I just did it.
Stats outweigh the Democrats, the diplomats, and the bureaucrats.
This is probably your first interview down on the ground on your butt and stuff like
First
that?
time ever,
All
baby.
right.
Eliminate and validate and validate and validate.
Stay with us and the Disability Channel.
Hello, Halton, BOMN, the fabulous community of Halton. Welcome back to the Today Show Halton region. I am Unstoppable Tracy Schmidt, if you're just tuning in. And with me is Chris Power, the future host of the Today Show Halton. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Tracy. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you coming up as the future host and as my last and final segment guest. Folks, every time I'm with Chris, my cheeks are sore from laughing. This man is an improv comedian extraordinaire. He's a director. He's a writer. He's an advocate in the world of people with disabilities. And we are lucky to have him as the upcoming host of the Today Show Halton starting in March. Chris,
I'm
what
excited
has
for the
you
opportunity.
Oh, wow. Well, we are lucky to have you. But just before I jump into full force, Chris Powers and power up the world with Chris Power, we just had a powerful guest, Julie Misquitta. And I know that you were like on the edge of your seat tuning in with us with Julie. Wasn't she extraordinary?
Oh, she was brilliant.
She was brilliant. So great. So, and we're so lucky to have her serving Canada for those 22 years.
Thank you
But
for
I
her service.
think, yes. And so as somebody that lives out this way in the Halton region, aren't you stoked about going places?
That's going to be a wonderful magazine. I mean, she's nailed it right on the head, right? It's the you have to search 20 different places to find one thing that you want to do. So if she's able to bring them all together and say, hey, just go here, that's perfect.
Yes, right? And then you've got a little guy and he's wonderful, but on top of all of your writing and your directing and your acting and your voiceovers and your improv nights, I mean, when you're finally stealing a family moment with your little guy, like who wants to spend an hour or more trying to find something to do spontaneous that's more exciting than the local park, right? So
It's hard for
great.
sure. Put him in his suit, walk him to the park, and that's your time. But it'd be great if there were the events that we could say, hey, where can we go right now to look? And I think what she's doing is going to be fabulous.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to bump into you at a beer fest or two. Maybe not with your son. If it's a beer fest.
A little too old,
Yeah, that's another 20 years probably.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But Chris, you have been immersed in the Disability Channel community in your profession, in your personal, in your recreation. Can you tell our wonderful Halton region a little bit about your past life and how you came to be part of this show with us?
Yeah, so in a past life, I went to school to become a police officer, didn't work out, and went back for business and found that business was uh, kind of my path. And then I did that for 15 odd years and realized with COVID and with everyone else behind us that there's a generational verbiage gap and we can kind of pursue other avenues, which brought me into improv and comedy and short filmmaking.
Yes. And one that's hitting a gazillion film festivals right now. I think you said something like 38 film festivals for one
A
of your
lot
movies
more,
right now?
yeah. 56 film festivals for our short Jitter that you were in, and we've currently won 3 awards. The best
Woohoo!
compliment we've gotten from that so far is that, it's just been normalized, right? We didn't highlight any of your abilities, we didn't make the movie about your abilities, it was just there, and people had said, "Is that what you were trying to do?" And we said, "Yeah, absolutely." And they turned around and said, "High five, you've nailed it, like, that's exactly perfect." The
Nice.
second movie we did with you, Choking Hazard, which is almost done and will be premiering at the Movie Expo in March. Either they'll say, "Hey, you got something," or "Good for you." But even that is, it's very unique and interesting, and I know it's going to win some awards. I know we put you in some weird positions,
You
but
to say the least. People, you gotta see this to believe it.
it was fabulous. It's a great script. It's a great story. My fingers are crossed and knocking on wood that someone loves it as much as I do, and we can make it bigger and better, of course. But for what it is, I think our team has done a fabulous job putting that together, and I'm excited to show you.
Yes. Well, my arms are crossed or my eyes are crossed, while you're crossing your fingers. I'm so excited. It's so true. Jitters was a phenomenal movie. I'm not the lead in that movie. I'm a bridesmaid in that movie, and that's it. I'm a bridesmaid. Like, of course, people with disabilities, invisible or visible, are doing everyday living activities, right? Weddings,
Yeah,
funerals, beer fests, who knows,
absolutely.
right? Having babies, all of the everyday life. And I think that's why it's exciting that you are part. I mean, I'm really excited because I know you have an extraordinary sense of humor and that you're very real and authentic and you're not a sugarcoater. And so I think that's why I'm excited that you're the host of the Today Show. But I also think it's exciting, probably on the professional side rather than the personal side, because it's true there is a generational gap between the way the language my mother might use or the language that students in schools use with me. They don't even understand what I mean by exclusion, because every classroom has a person with a disability, and so life is very different from our younger generation. And so so what's some of your inspiration for upcoming shows? What are you thinking about?
Literally anything that we can shine a light on that's going to help with community, smile to inspire, and a version of accessibility. I've been overwhelmed with what people have been replying back when I've asked them, would you be a future guest? Can we talk about certain things? And if all goes according to plan, there's some exciting stuff coming up that you really don't want to miss. If you don't have Kojiko, you'll be able to see it on our YouTube channel as well. But it is one of those things where it's going to be pretty exciting and something that we haven't done before, but something where it's going to be just there.
Yeah. Uh, eh, I'm so glad. And, you know, I was really at first sort of torn up. I'm leaving my Today Show Halton community and loved ones. It become kind of a Halton region second family for me, especially in the pandemic, because this is the big social time, is reaching out to the community. And now I'm not sad, because when it was announced that you were going to be the host, I knew that I was leaving my beloved family in extraordinary hands, and that there's going to be laughs and there's going to be tears and there's going to be like jaw dropping. Did he just ask that? Because you are real. And I think that the difference you make is that you stretch people into what is really meant to be the future. and where we should be calling it the past, and we're not there yet. And you are there yet. And so I know from our own movies, like Choking Hazard is a bit risky. And
Very.
yeah. Yeah, I sugarcoat things and he does not. It is very risky.
It's going to be, people are going to, they're going to love it or they're going to hate it. There is going to be no in between with that movie.
No.
And you've done a phenomenal job. I've watched the rough cut, those moments of your face, the way that you've done things, and the compromising position, the stuff that you're in. I think it's going to really just kind of showcase to people, hey, wait a minute, you can do these things too. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Yes. And I look forward to when compromise is expectation. And what I love about Chris is he expects the most from me and from what I provide and what I put out there in his films and in our conversations. He doesn't let me fall back onto some, sugar sweet person with a disability to be likable and make everybody else feel comfortable. He wants to know what I really think. And that's what he's going to do for all of you. So, Chris, welcome to the role of the Today Show Halton. I'm trying to hand off the baton to my extraordinary Chris Powers. He is my friend, he is my director, and now he is your community leader on the Disability Channel, Kojiko, your TV, the Today Show Halton. Thank you all for listening. It has been a blessing to do this show with all of you. Please look out for the Today Show Toronto if anybody ends up moving out of town. But if you're staying a Halton local, please welcome and join me in saying hello, Chris Powers, for the Today Show Halton region.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I'm going to try to follow in your footsteps as best I can, but it's a pretty big shadow, so I'm excited to see what I can do.
Yeah, well, you just have to get on your knees to follow in my steps. Cheeky. All right, folks. Thank you for watching for the past several years, and thank you for watching today. Thank you, guest Julie Misquitta. We thank you for your service with Canada and for your upcoming magazine, Going Places. And I will see Chris and Julie probably at the murder mystery in town. And I hope many of you come up and say, hello, I came today because we saw your show. Bye for now. Be sure to tune in March with Chris Powers on the Today Show, Halton Region. Take care, folks.